Fantasy versus Reality by Richie and Nicole. In the novella, The Old Man and the Sea is not dictated by one continuous moral. However, Santiago's multiple personalities, auras, or dimensions are often influenced by the continuous theme of fantasy versus reality. Santiago often fails to contrast fantasy and reality. Instead, fantasy and reality are intertwined and are the bedrock for many of its qualities. Fantasy and reality is a prevalent force within the old man's life. The music used greatly supports the idea of interwoven realities. We created a song which portrays elements of fantasy, which later transitions into reality. To capture the contrast between fantasy and reality, the song first starts upbeat and colorful, suggesting Santiago's fantasies as it transitions into reality. The beats become slower and simpler, suggesting modesty within reality. In the end, fantasy dominates, but with the use of simpler loops to suggest a mixture of the old man's fantasies through reality. In the beginning of the book, Santiago does not contrast fantasy and reality. He, however, only portrays a life of fantasy. They went through this fiction every day. The boy knew there was no pot of yellow rice. His life was solely based on fantasy, triggered by his denial. His denial allows him to escape current realities and create another dimension of reality through his fantasies. He fabricates his own reality to escape the constraints of his inevitable life. The old man is contradictory. He distorts and tries to escape reality by fabricating a life of fantasy. However, through his attempts, the old man only creates two dimensions of reality instead of escaping one. The painting on hand much relates to The Old Man and the Sea. The painting is deliberately simplistic. The painting itself is of water, however, the color reflects beyond the mere obvious. The colors are made up of different shades of blue, but the whole painting only projects an almost basic blue. Just like the old man, the painting is made out of confused layers battling against each other. However, in the end, one common color prevails and dominates the big picture. The old man's qualities are depicted through the sea, which suggests a relationship. Santiago always thought of the sea as Lamar, but they spoke of her as Elmar. They do not understand her as I do. Nostalgia of the old man's fantasies are rather ironic. The old man obscures current realities with fantasies derived from what was once reality. However, nostalgia is not a form of obscurity. It is an escape and a source of comfort. The old man uses nostalgia as an internal escape. The dream of lions allows the old man to revisit a life he now longs for. His dreams of lions suggest coexisting passive and peaceful animals, which defy the laws of nature itself. The lions in the old man's dreams are portrayed as peaceful creatures instead of keeping true with their reputation as dismissive predators, almost suggesting ignorance towards order. By dreaming of the lions, the old man can escape the tragic role he plays within the order of life. He no longer dreamed of storms, nor of women, nor of great occurrences, nor of great fish, nor of fights, nor of contests of strength, nor of his wife. He only dreamed of places now, and of the lions on the beach. The old man dreams of lions thrice. All dreams occurred after a time of hardship and failure, or at a time of such incomprehensible happenings, thus suggesting the dreams as a means of escape. The painting shown reflects the role his background plays within Santiago's confusion. The pictures within the abstract painting are faded and out of grasp, much like the old man's past. The abstract arrangements of color overshadowing the picture suggest the old man's life obscured with intertwining fantasies and reality. After being dragged out to sea by the marlin, the old man becomes isolated and separated from all human contact for 3 days. Isolation unravels the old man's failures in contrasting fantasy and reality. The old man uses elements of fantasy to his advantage, and he summons up strength and hope from false words. False hope is still hope indeed. The old man speaks to himself for encouragement and avoidance. As the old man is conflicted by many obstacles, Santiago's fictions help mask thoughts of negativity. The old man challenges his thoughts with his words, and ultimately, false-spoken words become almost true by hearing them. I must get him alongside. I'm not good for many more turns. Yes, you are, he told himself. You're good forever. The old man's two dimensions of reality are not only apparent in talking to himself, but his fantasies also give metaphorical life to the marlin, the sea, and all that surrounds Santiago. The old man creates a reality of relationships, predominantly shown with the marlin and the sea. One level of the old man's reality is that of his relationships or the connection Santiago establishes. But we as readers looking in can see that the old man does not make a connection. The old man, however, may feel a connection, but the fish in reality does not. The old man almost reasons with the fish and tries to understand and relate to him by reflecting an image of himself depicted by the fish and the sea. He is wonderful. Who knows how old he is, he thought. Never have I had such a strong fish, nor of one who acted so strangely. I love you and respect you very much, brother. The painting shown is a painting inspired by Jackson Pollock. The painting is of miscellaneous paint splatters of different colors. The painting directly relates to Santiago as though there are many randomly positioned paint splatters. The painting has a center point and a middle to the interfusing colors. The painting suggests Santiago's rite of passage as he rises from the confusion of two opposing forces, much like Santiago finding common ground between fantasy and reality. Santiago is made up of many dimensions and possesses great depth. However, Santiago is hindered by confusion. Santiago's dimensions often possess him and control him. But in the end, it is clear that the old man uses his personas or dimensions vantage. Through his efforts to separate and distinguish, the old man instead finds the reality of himself. The old man comes to an acceptance with his life. The additional music played was by Franz Schubert, a composer who lived a life much like Santiago's. Schubert lived a life hindered by his reality but could not separate himself from his fantasies. The song itself also reflects fantasies hindered by reality, through positive beats which later transition into such intensity. And the additional paintings shown are paintings we believe suited our theme.
The Old Man and the Sea has an ambiguous ending. However, the novella illustrates consistency within themes. Santiago fights the fight of reality, overshadowed by his fantasies, but through his experiences, the old man is finally able to face the human condition without dismissing it or trying to better it.